Hello everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, and I've been thinking, this channel's been getting a little depressing recently. What with the election and politics and MoviePass raising their prices, I'm getting kind of bored just complaining about things. So I think it's time we start talking about fun things again. And we need to start having a little bit of a schedule. Now, rants you can't just turn on and off because, things have to actually happen before you can rant. However, a weekly show we can actually do. So I am hereby right now announcing the return of the Encyclomedia Cool Collectible show. I still have not thought of a better name, so it's going to stay that way. And we are going to start a 10-part series of for the return of this show with these. What are these? These are probably the greatest thing Disney has made, or one of them ever. The Walt Disney Treasure Series. And for several years, they released 3 to 4 of these collections every year on DVD, and they would be a variety of things: cartoons, documentaries, what have it. And unlike the Walt Disney Legacy Collection, which I looked at another episode from way back when, not only did this line succeed, but it was about more than one topic as well. So let's talk about Wave 1. Wave 1 consisted of 4 titles. The first title is a pretty obvious one: Mickey Mouse in Living Color. This is number 93,483 of 150,000 copies. For the first couple waves, they imprinted the numbers on the case. They also printed on the back of the case. And, of course, when you opened up, they'd have this big, bulky 2-disc DVD case, which they really don't make anymore. And each set would come with a booklet. And these booklets would have information about the collection you have. It would tell you the contents. And most of them would come with a freebie, most likely a lithograph. This is the one that came with this one. And on the back of this lithograph, here are a couple facts. Fact number 1, Mickey Mouse's original name was Mortimer, until Walt Disney's wife Lillian convinced him to change it to Mickey because it sounded cuter. Second fun fact, the original voice for Mickey Mouse was Walt Disney himself. I think we all knew that. And the third fact, this image was used as the poster for the original theatrical release of the film The Band Concert in 1935, because shorts used to be giving their own posters. Now then, as for the discs themselves, well, this is the first disc. See Mickey as the Band Concert. They have, lithograph cover, first disc. They really like the band concert, which for good reason. It's a good short. And then the second disc was him as the brave little tailor. So, anyway, first collection was Mickey Mouse in Living Color. It made sense. And Disney would find a way to have Mickey Mouse be an integral part of this series for the first several waves. And we will discuss how in later videos. The second collection in this first wave was Silly Symphonies. Now, this one was number 88,818 of 150,000. Now, for the record, I bought these at Costco because they didn't realize the collector's editions that they would become. Now, this DVD is a one-of-a-kind Walt Disney Treasures for this reason. It is signed by Disney legend Dave Smith. Dave Smith was pretty much the founder of the Walt Disney Archive Collection at the Walt Disney Studios of Burbank. There they house all this animation, production cells, Oscars, Emmys, Annies, information on every Disney character. If you're an employee, you can go and you can kind of get a surface view. Oh, they also have the original wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia, the Disney movie, not the BBC series, of course. And Dave Smith pretty much founded it. He was so dedicated, he would actually jump into garbage pails to save Disney memorabilia. And some things I have seen there, including some of the various awards Disney won, was the number one ticket sold at Disneyland, which was bought by Walt's big brother, Roy. So I met Dave at D23, and he signed this, so this is especially a one-of-a-kind collection. The lithograph in this set was for trees. Well, okay, flowers and trees, that's what it's called. Was the fact being, the very first Silly Symphony was Flowers and Trees. It premiered on July 30th, 1932 at Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood. And should come as no surprise, these discs are a little bit more stern in the case, that the first disc has the trees on it. Oh, and the second disc has the Ugly Duckling. And so, Silly Symphonies. Now, I do want to mention, anyone who gets these, you're going to have to be a little careful, because although there's a good collection of cartoons on here, many of them are hidden as Easter eggs. You have to actually find them. Now, most of the time, they're worth finding because they're really funny, but basically, there's some less than politically correct cartoons on that set, and rather than just not put them on the disc at all or censoring them, they hid them. So, if you can spend the time to find them, you can definitely see some of the less family-friendly Silly Symphonies cartoons. Especially keep an eye out for Who Killed Cock Robin. That one's probably my favorite. Now, the third set was Disneyland USA. This is number 2,523 of 150,000. So this is one of the lowest numbered sets I have. Now, there is an issue with this set, and it bugs me. It really does. And the issue is that, unfortunately, a couple of the episodes were censored. Like, they added warning signs saying, like, do not try this at home. Does it affect anything? Not really, but it's still a shame. And did Disney fans know what that's of? And this is disc number 1 and disc number 2. Now, even though I think there's like 7 episodes of the Disneyland TV show on here, and the few standouts include the announcement of Disneyland, because we didn't have internet back then, so Walt Disney announced it on live TV to the world that he was opening something called Disneyland. He was working on it. And the opening day of Disneyland, where Ronald Reagan, who would go and have a more political career, helped host the opening day of Disneyland. And an episode that featured the very first Disneyland ambassador, of which I tried to be a Disneyland ambassador one time. Never quite got there, but you know what? Competition was always tough. So this is especially a treat for Disney fans. And on a side bonus, with the exception of the sing-along videos, this is the only set that I can think of that has a huge chunk of the long-lost Song of the South released legally on DVD. Now, the con is, it's in black and white, it's not in color, which it was made in color. But if you want to see at least one of the cartoon segments completely unedited, with the exception of, the black color to black and white, this is what you would have to get. And finally, rounding out wave 1, Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. This was a favorite when I was a kid. This is number 108,594 of 150,000. So Davy Crockett was like this huge hit show that Disney had. It was probably his first real big successful TV show ever. And Disney himself was not too pleased with the concept, to the point where when he first made it, there were only a few episodes. And had he realized how popular Davy Crockett would become, he wouldn't have killed him off in the 3rd episode. Oops. But our blessing is that we now have the entire collection on DVD. And one of the things that they were able to do was they were able to edit the episodes together into a movie. Which means essentially what you saw on TV, you saw in theaters, except for some things missing. That's that's what the first disc looked like. And that's what the second disc looks like. So, Davy Crockett. So, to recap, the original wave of Walt Disney treasures were Mickey Mouse in living color, Silly Symphonies, Disneyland USA, and Davy Crockett. Now, this first run was kind of a test. They weren't sure if people were going to turn out for it. It was a passion project of Roy Disney and film critic and historian Leonard Maltin, who provides introductions and information on various cartoons and stuff, basically so we could get them uncut. And it ended up being, a far bigger success than anyone could have imagined. To the point where the first 2 or 3 waves were so popular, Costco got an exclusive reprint of the series of the first couple waves, sans the tin cases. Now, this made some Disney fans upset because what's the point of numbering of them if you're gonna make more than what the numbers are? I kind of understand it, but at the same time, I mean, come on. Share the love, right? So anyway, that was Walt Disney Treasures Wave 1. Join us next Tuesday because I'm going to be uploading these episodes on Tuesdays for Wave 2. We will discuss those titles, what they contained, and some of the changes that the line had to inevitably make because of high demand. So anyway, that's the video. Comment below, do you have any of these? Are you having trouble finding them? I would like to know, so share your stories, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.